Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a great week. In the Bible, it talks about shepherds and sheep a lot. In fact, the shepherd was the first to be able to tell about the birth of Jesus. Shepherds have a lot of work to do. Sheep get lost easily, so the shepherd must take the sheep to the pasture so that they can have cool water to drink and fresh grass to eat. And since they get lost easily, they have to be watched all the time. And their wool is quite thick, so sometimes they can get tangled up in a bush and they're stuck. So they need help getting out. And their legs, they're so short and little, and their bodies are kind of big that they'll even tip over and they need help sitting up. Well, the shepherd must pay attention all the time. And it's pretty hard work, but I think it might be kind of fun. Some people think that sheep aren't very smart. Well, did you know that they can tell the voice from their shepherd from another shepherd? Just like when we hear a voice, we know that it's mom or dad or a friend talking to us. Sheep can tell the difference from someone's voice? Well, I think that's pretty smart. And the shepherd feels only love and kindness towards his sheep, and he loves protecting them and taking care of them. Well, Jesus feels only love and kindness towards us, and he enjoys protecting us too. So he wants to be our shepherd. Have you ever had a pet and all of a sudden you realize they're not there, and you look around and you're like, oh, where are they? Oh, there they are. I bet you were pretty worried, weren't you? And you were pretty relieved to know that you found them. Well, what if you had 100 pets or 100 sheep? How could you keep track of all of them? And what would you do if one get lost? Well, in the Bible, in Luke 15, verse 3 through 7, the story is about a shepherd who leaves his flock of 99 to go find that one that's lost. Have you ever wondered what that sheep might be thinking while he was lost? Me too. Let's find out together. The sheep that no one could find. There once was a good shepherd who tended his sheep in a field by a mountain, high, green, and steep. The sheep would go grazing right down to the sea. They always were happy and always were free. As long as they followed the shepherd they knew, nothing could harm them or frighten them too. But one of the sheep decided one day the words of the shepherd were hard to obey. Instead, he decided to do things his way. He even decided to run far away. So he snuck off alone as fast as he could over a river and into a wood. At last, said the sheep as he stood near a tree, I won't have to follow the shepherd and be. Like all of the others, I'll really be free. So into the valley the little sheep crossed and wandered all day until he was lost. Lost and confused, he wasn't aware a hungry old wolf had spotted him there. The wolf licked his lips and drooled at the sight. He got an idea and said with delight, I think I'll have lamb chops for dinner tonight. But in order to take the sheep by surprise, the wolf had to use a most clever disguise. He put on a sheep suit, a mask on his head, then waved to the sheep and cheerfully said, How about having some dinner with me? I live over there. Would you like to come see? The sheep, who felt lonely, said in reply, I'd love to have dinner, just you and I. But when they arrived at the hungry wolf's lair, there wasn't a trace of food anywhere. The wolf grinned and said, There is no mistake. You see, silly sheep, I'm just a big fake. Now come over here. Don't try to go back. You are my dinner, my tasty sheep snack. The little sheep screamed and dived underneath, the wolf snapping jaws and razor-sharp teeth. He raced through the forest past buzzards and bees. The wolf chased behind, but got lost in the trees. Up into the mountain, the frightened sheep flew. He had no idea just what he would do. But all of a sudden, he came to a stop the moment he got to the high mountaintop. For blocking his path, the little sheep saw a huge, angry lion who started to roar. The lion was mean and prideful and bad. He prowled through the country and always was mad. In order to show off his strength and his might, he tried to devour all the sheep in his sight. With fury he growled, "How dare you come here? This is my mountain. Isn't that clear?" Then making a lunge with his powerful paws, he sliced at the air with his long, deadly claws. The sheep backed away on the mountain's flat top, but couldn't go further or down he would drop. So he leaped on the lion and slid down his tail. He landed behind him and ran down the trail. Far off in the distance, he saw a tall tree. "Finally," he said, "a safe place for me." He climbed up the tree, and taking a chance, he crawled to the end of a thin, leafy branch. "At last," breathed the sheep, "I'll take a short rest, and just like a bird, I'll hide in a nest." But the sheep felt so sad. "I want to go home. I'm tired of being so scared and alone. I miss the Good Shepherd. I'd much rather be following him than stuck up this tree." But just at that moment, from out of nowhere, a slithering snake hung down in the air. The snake was a liar and an evil one too. The words that he spoke were always not true. He said to the sheep, "Your shepherd is cruel. He'll never forgive you. Stop being a fool." His tongue darted out. He started to hiss. "Come here, little lamb. Let me give you a kiss." "Come here," he repeated. "Come here, pretty please. I'll wrap all around you and give you a squeeze." The sheep wiggled out. He barely got free. He jumped to the ground and started to flee. The snake was behind. The little sheep knew the wolf and the lion were chasing him too. But when he got tired and wanted to quit, he suddenly fell in a dark, open pit. The sheep couldn't see. The pit was so black. Above him, the beasts were set to attack. "Oh, what can I do?" the little sheep sighed. "I'm trapped and alone and just want to cry. I've been so confused, so wrong, and so blind. My shepherd was caring and loving and kind. I never should have left. It was all a mistake. I'm tired of wolves and of lions and snakes." But then the sheep heard a most wonderful sound. It came from above, from up on the ground. The shepherd was back. The shepherd was here. The shepherd was calling his name loud and clear. He had left all his flock for one sheep who was lost, to rescue and save him, no matter the cost. He trounced the huge lion. He crushed the sly snake. He flung the old wolf by his tail in a lake. Then he pulled the sheep out from down in the pit, and on his strong shoulders he made the sheep sit. He carried him back with a smile that was bright to the field by the mountain. What a beautiful sight! The sheep were all glad to see their small friend. He promised to never leave them again. To the shepherd he said, "I'm sorry I strayed. Forgive me for all the mistakes that I've made." "All is forgiven," the shepherd replied, and the sheep could detect tears of joy in his eyes. "My heart is so happy. My love is so deep. Welcome back to your family. Welcome home, my lost sheep." Did you guess who that shepherd was? You're right, it was Jesus. In the Bible, John 10, verse 14, Jesus says, "I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me." And Jesus wants to be our shepherd, and he wants us to be his little sheep. He knows each one of us, and he loves each one of us, and he loves taking care of each one of us. And we can go to him if we're troubled or scared or just need to talk, and he will comfort us because he is our shepherd, and he is a good shepherd. And if we listen closely, we can hear his voice as he comforts us and guides us. Let's end today's lesson in prayer. God made the sun. God made the sea. God made the fish, and God made me. Thank you for the sun. Thank you for the sea. Thank you for the fish, and thank you for me. Dear God, thank you for being our good shepherd and for teaching us to listen to your voice so we know who to follow. We want to be your sheep. Amen. Thank you for visiting. Bye.